I'm going to be showing you how to clean your AR with the standard cleaning rod, and I have this one hooked up to a gun vise. I like this one because it props it open. This particular AR from Colt, the front takedown pin does not come completely out unless you have two screwdrivers, so it's a lot more easier just for basic maintenance to have it propped open like this. You'll notice I am in my kitchen, which I don't like to do, so when I am forced to clean in my kitchen, I like to put on this. It's called a patch trap. It's from Tipton, and this is going to keep any solvent and all the dirty patches and everything else from splattering all over my kitchen. Next, I am going to put on a bore guide. A bore guide is going to help me when I push my rod through. It's going to, one thing, help keep it lined up. Ease it on through here. It's going to help keep the rod lined up with the bore, and also it helps prevent any, when I push it through when I have solvent on, it's going to help keep the solvent out of the action. And when I have dirty patches or dirty brushes, anything like that, it's going to help that dirty solvent from getting in my receiver and making more of a mess. So really it helps the cleaning process. There we go. Next I grabbed a brush, and I'm going to be using a jag in this particular instance. So I'll put my brush on. This bore guide here has a little slot. I can put my solvent in. This keeps solvent from getting everywhere, all over my counter and whatever your cleaning surface is. So you squirt that on there and push it through. I like to run it through about 2 to 3 times. Next I'm going to put on my jag. These particular patches here I'm using are kind of thick, so I will have to struggle with this a little bit getting it through there, and I like that because it allows me to, I think if it's a tight fit it's going to push all that grime through. And normally I would run a dry patch. I like to alternate, run a dry patch, then a wet patch, then a dry patch, then a wet patch. But this one here, since these patches are kind of tight, I'm going to put some lube on there. It's going to help it go through a little bit easier. This bore guide here is convenient because you put the patch in and then you wet it through this little slot. So once again, you're not getting solvent and everything else all over. Run one more through. You always want to make sure the last patch you run through, once the bore is clean, you want the last patch, put a little bit of CLP on there, not a lot, so that you have a nice protective coating on your barrel. You'll notice this method here is a little bit different from the other pull method. This one here I'm actually pushing through. And there are different variations on this. If you don't have a patch trap, you can, and if you want to use the pull method, you can feed your rod through, put your bore brush on and pull it through, and do that with all the patches. Another method, if you don't have the patch trap, you can push it through. Like for instance, if you have a patch holder instead of a jag, push it through, and then you want to take the patch out before you pull it back through so that you're not pulling all that grime and everything else back into your receiver. So that's it. So you clean it until the last patch comes out nice, put a little bit of lube in there, and you're good to go.